Hello, hello, hello. Good morning to you all. This is Recie Myers coming to you live from the Richmond area, Richmond, Virginia. Roland is not with me this morning, but that's okay. It's 8 o'clock and I go on. So last week, we talked about the power that we have in us. And today I'm going to talk a little bit, showing me that the connection. I hope that's good morning, Sips. Good morning to you. Knowing that it's going down low. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, today I'm going to talk with you a little bit. By the way, I'm speaking to spiritual entrepreneurs, people who are determined to be more, do more, have more in their lives and impact others' lives. That's who I'm speaking to this morning. Glad that you can join me this morning. So, a couple weeks ago, I did something that I didn't realize that it did, and it's a no-no. And it got me thinking, well, what else do I not know? In marketing, there are minefields. And as with any job, there are things that you do, a lot of do's, and the things that you don't. Okay, I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me well. Good morning, Jill. Good morning. Glad that you can join me. So, it's going out and in. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I need to turn my Wi-Fi off. Well, let me know if you can hear me. So, as I was saying, good morning, George. Good morning, Pastor. Glad that you can join me this morning. Roland's not with me. Needed to sleep some more. So, I'm talking a little bit about the do's and the don'ts. In network marketing, as with any business, there's some things that you do and some things that you don't. And if you don't know, you can sometimes do something, maybe not intentionally, but it can have some rippling effects. And so I thought, let me find out, what are the ethics? What are those things you don't do? So there are about 10 of them, actually 11, and I'm going to share them all with you. They call them the deadly sins. One is overrating your product or service. Sometimes we get so excited. Oh, I got this thing, and you're really excited about it, and you want to share it with some others. And some people tend to embellish. They over-exaggerate their product or the service, and that has a way of affecting your credibility. So we don't want to do that. All right. Good morning, Ursula. Good morning to you. Glad that you can join me this morning. And there was somebody else here. Good morning, Derek, and good morning, Jill. Gil, sorry. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining me this morning. So I'm talking about those 10 don'ts. We hear all the time about the do's, but the don'ts are just as important. We need to know what we need to avoid, or the minefields out there that can sabotage us. So the first one is overrating your product or your service. 2, lying about your income. Whatever business it is, sometimes you may have a really, really good month, but it's not what you make every month. It's not typical. And then and you may have seen some of these ads on YouTube or whatever, saying you're going to make all of this and to show you all this money, but it's not maybe consistent. Maybe it depends on what you do. Maybe the potential is there, but they over exaggerate, or lying by omission. Maybe you with a partner say, hey, this is my friend, he earns such and such and such, and then you standing right there. Maybe you did it one time, but then being honest and say, well, you know what, that was just for 1 month, or that was for a period of time. Be honest. Don't lie about your income, or mislead people. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, cousin Jay from Chicago. Thank you for joining me this morning. Number 3, talking negatively about a distributor, a team member, maybe a company, maybe the company you're working for. Don't talk negatively. He says, it is better to better yourself, to rise above whatever. Yeah, there may be problems, and I know for me, there were some things that led me to go into network marketing. So yeah, maybe things weren't perfect, but we tried to better ourselves and focus on that instead of dragging someone through the mud, so to speak. Yes. Speak, if you're going to speak anything negative, so maybe speak about maybe a job that is keeping you restrained or keeping you stuck, where you're not being able to live to your fullest potential. So he says to focus on that. Oh, by the way, and this was Eric Worre, who I've been listening to. Number 4, inconsistency. Being inconsistent. You go to, let's say you're in a business, and you go to a webinar, you go to a seminar, you go to some conference, and you get all pumped and you're so energetic. You come back and you're talking to your team. Hey, we're going to be doing this, and the first 2 weeks you're doing fine, and the third week you disappear. Where you're nowhere. You're not there to support your team and keep them moving and being energetic. So you're all hot, and then you're cold. You nowhere to be found. And then you come back maybe next month and you try to do the same thing. You gotta be consistent. So don't be inconsistent. Good morning, Gregory. Glad that you can join me this morning. Good morning, Norm. I'm just talking about what people who are in business need to do to avoid avoiding the minds and the things that you don't do. All right, so I did overinflating your product or your service. That was 1. Lying about your income, whether outright or by omission, or misleading people. 3 was talking negatively about someone within your team, maybe in your company, whatever business. We rise above that. Whatever, even if the person may have wronged you in some way, you don't bring it out. You try to rise yourself above whatever circumstances or whatever problems. 4, inconsistency. Don't be hot and cold. 5, spending more than you make. And that is a trap right there. Sometimes you feel, buy that house that shows status. I'm sorry, I'm looking like this because seems like maybe I'm losing connection, and I hope I'm not. Let me go on. Sometimes you feel like if you get that one thing, you buy that car, that's going to take you over the edge. That's going to attract your people to you. No, it's not that at all. It's who you are. You don't depend on something to take you over the edge or to give you. You need to have options. You need to have choices. And buying things is not the answer. That's feeding the monster. You're digging yourself in a deeper hole, and you're not going to get anywhere. Okay. All right, let me keep going. Number 6, stealing someone else's prospects. And that's a biggie. Oh, Roland, did I just see you? Okay, got all excited there. Yeah, stealing someone else's prospect. You don't do that. Hey, why don't you come work with me? Because with me, you're going to do this. You don't do that. And then before you know it, well, get your brother, get your uncle, get your aunt. And, that is a no-no. Before you know it, that's going to cause you credibility. It just destroys your ability to be able to move forward because people are going to avoid you. You don't want to do that. Number 7, now this should seem like common sense, but common sense isn't always that common, right? Okay, let's see right here. Sleeping around in your company, that should be a no-no. People should know that right off the bat. But sleeping around, that causes friction. That's interfering with relationships. Before you know it, it causes growing your team or whatever. It can inhibit the progress that you want to make. Okay, yes. So it seems simple, seems elementary, but some people do it. And it can cause more harm than anything else. Then he talked about the public drunk. This is number 8. Abusing substances or drinking, you go to a conference somewhere, or maybe they have an after party or whatever, and here's someone falling down drunk. That is inappropriate behavior. So we shy away from that. We don't participate in that. Number 9, hogging the stage. You might know someone who's like this. When they get up in front on the stage in front of everybody, they just grab the mic and they just talk. As a leader, it's important to be able to duplicate yourself. And if you're hogging the mic all the time, you're not giving or carrying off responsibilities or to some of the other team members to allow them to develop their skills and talents in leadership, because you want to duplicate yourself. All right. Number 10, he talked about success coma. Success coma. What does that mean? Well, let's say you've been working in a company for 10 years and you've arrived at a certain level of success, and you're still motivating. You're telling your team members or the people who work with you, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, but you say it, but you're not doing your part, and so you're riding on your laurels. You're not actively doing what you need to do to continue to grow your business, grow your team, and expand. You're just kind of like coasting. So yes, that was number 10, but then there's another one, which is jumping or bouncing around from company to every 2 years. You see someone, oh, they're selling this other product, oh, they're doing something else every 2 years or so, and that stunts your ability to dig your roots deep. There's an acronym for focus. To focus on one thing, focus until success. I can't remember what that acronym is. If you remember, you could go ahead and put it in there. Oh, Roland, and show off. Show off. What'd you say, Roland? Anyway, we're talking about the don'ts, what you don't do in your business, any kind of business that you're in. And so I shared with you guys 10 of those don'ts that can inhibit us, minefields that can cause problems in terms of our ability to expand and grow. Because people will shy away from you. You're just hurting yourself, your credibility, your ability to impact lives, and you want to. That's the whole purpose of this, to be able to impact others' lives. So that's what I have for you today. Every day, Roland and I come to share a nugget or two with you. Hopefully you found some value in this, and if you have, if any of the things that I've shared kind of like touches on a nerve or I step on some toes, that means it's something that maybe we need to improve upon. And I know there are a couple things in this list that I knew I wanted. I went seeking out this list because I accidentally did something, and I certainly did apologize to that person, and he might know who he is. Anyway, so that's what I have for you. In the description, I do have 2 links. One is to my YouTube channel, where I upload the lives into that. So if you want to go back and catch something that you may have missed, you can easily do that without having to scroll through on my page. And I do have a link to Wednesday weekly webinar, where there is a 7 or 8 figure earner who comes and shares with us valuable tips that can impact in a positive way our businesses. So I invite you to register. It's you got to register, and it's free. It's free. So Roland says people like to show off with their. Okay, now thank you, Roland. Let me know if you can hear me well, Roland, because I think I'm losing connection. I'm losing connection in and out. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Technology has a way of doing its own thing. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me this morning. You could have done anything with your time. Remember to share this out if you've gotten any value. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, press #replay. And again, thank you for joining me, and you will see me bright and early tomorrow morning, Tuesday. Have an awesome Monday. Bye now.